think I'll just untarp this one side. That way when I decide to give up on this project in 10 minutes, all I got to do is pull the tarp back down on this one side. You got to think ahead like that. You don't want to get too deep into a project to where you're committed. Yeah, I already want to quit. So here's what we're working with. The sediment bowl is right there. You can't see it because of this beautiful frame for the loader. Yeah, it really kind of sucks. It's in the way. And that's exactly why I wanted to pull this whole loader frame off, leave it sitting outside, get the tractor in the shop before I worked on it, because it's just in the way of absolutely everything. So here's what I bought to fix the sediment bowl, because I don't know how many sediment bowls I've replaced, and you know what? The new ones always leak. Also, have you ever noticed how China packages stuff like it's a fine liquor? I don't understand why this came in a plastic case in this little bag. All it is a shutoff valve. What in the world? I bought my kids some roller skates last week. Came in a really nice box. Once again, came in a little bag. I mean, it's not Crown Royal. What are they doing? I don't understand this. So the plan is stick this valve up in the bottom of the tank, come off with a rubber hose, inline fuel filter, down to the carburetor. No, it's not factory. No, it doesn't look right. Who cares? This, I guarantee you, will shut off the fuel. If it doesn't, well, that's because it's from China. Like I said, those new sediment bowls always leak, and this plus the filter is half the price. So it seems like a no-brainer to me. I'm gonna see if I can't set you up to where you can somehow see that sediment bowl and I can also see it. I don't know that that's possible. Just made an amazing discovery. If I pull the battery out, I can just almost kind of see the sediment bowl through this hole here. Hang on a sec, I'll tuck you in there. Does the screen rotate? Nope, you're gonna be upside down, I think. See that? There's a sediment bowl in there. All right, all gloved up, ready for surgery. Even with this wonderful access hole, yeah, I can't get a wrench on there. Looks like a 1/2 inch would take off the side cover here. Yeah. Feels like, yep, okay. Just got the line loose. Now, let's see if we can get the sediment bowl out. I got smart halfway through that process, and I flipped the bail down and took the actual glass bowl off, which gained me even more room. You can see how gross that is down in there. That's all the sediment that it catches. What are the odds I can just grab this and turn it out by hand? That's what I figured. Absolutely none. What are the odds it's a 5/8? Also none. Okay, let's get some more wrenches. Seems like it's 3/4. At least it fit on there. Whether or not it's the right size, I don't know. Wow. I thought it fit on there. It does. Apparently I can just get on it from one and only one angle. Alright. Wonder if I can do it by hand now. Yep. Just barely. Oh man, that feels great on the wrist. No. So there's a little heat shield that protects the sediment bowl from the heat of the exhaust. Yeah, it definitely hits the outlet on the sediment bowl as I'm unthreading it. I bet it's going to self-clearance though if we just keep forcing it by. I mean, sliding it by. Yep. Self-clearance just fine. Alright, so here's the base, or I guess the top of the sediment bowl. This would go up in the tank. The fuel level has to be at least this tall before it can go down inside this little standpipe here. That probably would have had a filter on it originally, which is now broke off. That's going to keep, you know, the big junk from coming in. Then, once it goes through that pipe, it comes out through the middle here, falls to the bottom of the bowl, and then the fuel off the very top is going to go back through this mesh screen and out here. Well, the problem with that is when the mesh screen is smashed and you can just see out the outlet, yeah, the screen's not doing much of anything. So that's good. This should be a 3/8 pipe thread. I'll just screw this right into the bottom, run a hose off of it to a fuel filter, and get rid of this entire thing. Now, yes, I don't have this little standpipe, so any chunks of junk that are in there are going to immediately come through this, but they're just going to plug up that filter. We change a filter or two, and then hopefully after that, it's just, you know, annual, biannual, whenever it plugs, maintenance. We're going to give it a couple wraps of some Teflon tape as well. There is a right and a wrong way to do this, and I'm not kidding you. You want to hold the tape in one hand, hold the fitting in your other hand, and twist the fitting the direction it threads into whatever you're threading it. Because otherwise, when you thread this in, all your tape's just going to unspool. Not even kidding. Alright, good enough. I use this special yellow stuff because it's for gas lines. Not this kind of gas line, like propane, natural gas. Same thing? Not really. Is it going to work? Should. In theory, you don't even need tape because the tape lubricates the threads as they self-seal because it's a tapered fit, interference, I don't know, engineering stuff, right? I'm just a redneck working on a tractor in my yard. If I was smart, I would have checked what size wrench this was before I put it in there. Because coming from China, I can guarantee you it's not going to be a 3/4. Although, 3/4 is pretty much the same as 19, so is it a 3/4 19? No, not even close. Okay, more wrenches. I have returned with more large wrenches. Hoping you can see a little better down here. 21 it is, perfect. And I can't get back on it. And more. Just get on there one more time, wrench. One more time. Okay, maybe two more times because I'm not going to have much swing there. Now just a little more, and that will actually be straight. It'll look good. What if I swing that up? Does that help? No. Well, maybe. No. That's definitely worse. Okay, that was worse. Now we know that. Yep. Perfect. Okay. Right there. And it is installed. I took the battery out, put it up in the shop. It's on the charger, just cooking away. Got the last of my mower gas here. Let's come back down here and just flush on this a little bit. Oh, look at that. Pours out, it quits. Pours out, it quits. It actually shuts off like a shut-off. How nice is that? Gonna have to remove that, hook in a rubber line from here to the carburetor. So that means now I gotta finish untarping this because I'm probably past the point of no return and just pulling the tarp back over it. I'll take my stack of wrenches back inside and I'll meet you on the other side of the tractor. Well, the tarp's off, but we're back on the same side of the tractor because believe it or not, guys, the lift arm's in the way, that little steel side cover is in the way. Yeah, everything is in the way. So, best I can tell, there's 2 bolts back here, 2 bolts up here, and this whole fuel tank will just come out. At that point, I believe we're going to find a giant mouse nest because I can kind of see a little bit of it under the corner, and I think we're going to have complete access to the top of that carburetor. which also means I should probably just take the carburetor out now, because since I have complete access to it, now's the time to take it out and clean it. So this just got a lot more involved than fuel shutoff, fuel filter, and snag a new line on there. I think it's going to be better-ish. I went and got this little floppy deal. Doesn't work. Stuck the wrench in there. Super tight. But then I realized the tank moves freely in the front. It might just be these two that hold it down. Okay, let's move this stuff out of here. And unfortunately, we're going to lose our hood prop here. But I think I'll figure out something else. Probably jam a log in here or something. Although the hood's about to shut on you guys. Okay, well that's free. Yeah, I'm gonna get you guys out of the danger zone. Yep. Well, it's out now. Cool. Wow. So right here we've got two little hooks. Those slide over these deals. So I don't know if I'm supposed to loosen those. I don't know. Here's that mouse nest we were talking about. Let's go ahead and remove that. Well, looks like they did not chew on my spark plug wire. They just built the nest around it. And then here's that fuel line I was talking about. It goes across up to the front, and then right here, right there, it switches to rubber. Let's rip the steel line out of that rubber hose, maybe put a new hose on the carburetor, run it back around to the fuel tank, and fire it up. My first video, you might remember this guy right here. Right here, this guy? Yeah. That was our first oil leak. Mechanical oil pressure gauge, but what's this? No gauge. So it was just spraying oil out. Took that out, put a plug in the block. It's still coming down the backside of the block somewhere. I don't know if it's the valve cover or what, but should be pretty easy to see now with the fuel tank popped up. Change the plane again. It's looking like it could rain. So I thought to myself, why am I fiddling around with all this nonsense right now when all I got to do is get this cute little temporary tank, snag it on here, put a valve in line, just like that. We got fuel. See that? No fuel, fuel. Which I can put right next to the battery here. And yeah, what else do I need? So I'm gonna go get the battery off the charger, plop that in here, and I'll see if it'll run. My goal today was get this thing to quit dripping fuel so I can pull it from this parking spot outside here up in the shop. I don't want to smell this thing just dripping gas like crazy. So hopefully with that new shut off, I can shut the gas off. It'll quit dripping gas everywhere. All right, we have fuels. Well, let's start. Sure will. Yeah. Come on, girl. Nope, stay on it. Oh, she is not happy. Welcome to the other side of the tractor. You can clearly see here, loader arm, hydraulic line, carburetor. That is why I have been so stinking resistant to take it off, because I can't get to the dumb thing. Here's the deal though. This is the bowl drain. There's fuel, well, in the tank, in the line. Do you see fuel running out of it onto the ground everywhere? No, you don't. I'm assuming that's because, remember that screen we talked about that was all torn up in the sediment bowl and allowing whatever wanted it through? That happened, and then now this little guy here is all plugged up. So I'm gonna fiddle a wrench in there somewhere, yank it out of here, tear it apart. Don't worry, I'll show it to you. And I bet it's gonna run like a gem after that.